This is how most people's credit report look. Just crazy and all over the place. It's just loud. Red flags and whistles. Somebody blow the whistle. Somebody blow the whistle.
Good morning, Daddy.
It's all kind of crazy stuff going on. But then we come in and we delete it. We get everything off. We get that credit report deleted, and then look, boom, you don't see it anymore. All you see is the good. How long does it take to build credit? What up, you got Mr. Smith, 0.5 of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and in this brief video, I want to talk about how long it takes to build credit. Simple answer, it varies. But I'm going to give you some tools and some things that you can do in order to start building credit if you have none. And then that way you can start escalating your score and just putting yourself in a position to not have to worry about the length of time it takes to build credit, because you know you're building a solid foundation. See, it all helps when you start off with a solid foundation. Once the solid foundation is in place, it's easier to build a solid structure on top of that foundation. However, if you start trying to build your credit and it's based on a sandy foundation or a swampy foundation, then you're setting yourself up for failure. And many times the advice that I hear people giving is setting people up for failure versus giving them a solid score that is theirs, not just someone else's. So I'll talk about some different options. But first, you got to understand the 5 different factors. And we'll talk about options to help you as it relates to those 5 factors. Once you understand the 5 factors and how you can help yourself in those areas, then you can just kind of create a checklist. Okay, boom, am I doing this? Boom, am I doing this? Boom, am I doing this? Boom, am I doing this on a regular basis? And now you're able to keep your score intact no matter what, because you're understanding the 5 factors of credit, simply put. Or if you would like our assistance in helping you along your journey in terms of building your credit, getting things removed off your credit if you had, some hiccups in the past, then by all means, click the link and you can get access to a lot of different resources that I'm going to go over. So smartcreditkit.com will give you access to all of the different resources for the most part that I'm going to be mentioning in terms of building your credit. And if you want to book a call with us, even some free education, it's a free credit class in there. I mean, we're here to serve. We're here to help you out. So if nothing else, you get something from this video, then you can get some from the free stuff, or you can invest in yourself, which is something that can help you even more by investing in yourself. Do it. I just want to give you some value. But anyway, let's talk about the 5 credits, and let's talk about how we can solve the problem, or, make sure we're on track on all 5 factors. So factor number 1, payment history. Basically, how well you make payments on time over time. And you want to do that all the time. Number 2, credit utilization. That's dealing with credit cards. How much of that credit limit are you utilizing? Number 3, credit history. What's the age of your credit? From what age was your credit starting to be calculated, basically? So if you started at the age of 20 and you're 25, then you have 5-year credit history. So the longer the age, the better. In many cases. Now, I've been doing back-to-back videos, so you might see a lot of videos that I have on this same one, because I'm back-to-back videos and I'm going to disperse them how I see fit. But in the meantime, let me get a little sip of water. Hope you understand, so I can deliver these 5 factors. And yes, I just drank the water out of the gallon. Oh well, gotta keep that water in your system. Anyway, let's go. Now, credit history is the age of your credit. Number 4 is credit mixture, new credit. Either one. You get new credit, credit mixture. Either one. But credit mixture is basically having a combination of different styles of things that affect your credit, from loans to bills that you're paying, things of that nature. And new credit is just basically the recent things that you have on your report that's affecting your credit. Typically, they're looking at the previous 2 years. That is determined as new credit, because the newer the credit has a bigger effect, but age of credit also has a effect. So you want to have age, but you want to have some new recent things that you've done to help benefit your score, and that helps as well. But if you understand all 5 of those, payment history, credit utilization, credit history, credit mix, and new credit, then you'll be on track and you can just understand how to handle each and every one of those. Now, if you're just now building credit, then new credit will be inevitable because you'll be doing stuff that's setting up building credit, so it'll be all recent. So the new credit will be taken care of. And if you follow what I'm saying and follow the link below, then you'll have no choice but to have credit mixture because it'll diversify your credit score. Credit mixture is just having a combination of things. Everything I'm telling you now is going to be a combination of good things on your credit report. So I won't speak on ways to do new credit and credit mixture because it's going to be inevitable if you just listen to the other stuff that I'm about to say. Now, let's talk about payment history. How well are you paying your bills on time? They're starting to crack down more on these things, so it's important for you to pay your bills on time, ahead of time, all the time. Just make that a habit because it's going to end up costing you money or could possibly cost you a job or a promotion if you're not paying things on time. And by costing you money, if your credit score drops, then you might get charged more for certain things just because you had a lower credit score and it might have just been because of one payment was late. So it really costs you money to pay late. Not just the late payment fees, just the effect that it can have on your credit. So understanding that really is something you got to take in full effect. Now, that's all on you. You have to be good at making your payments on time. However, if you previously had some things that you did in error that, that are on your report, no big deal because we've seen it all. So don't feel bad if you want to schedule a call with us and you need assistance on getting certain things removed, updated, making sure things are on your report looking properly so we can get that foundation solid. That's what we're here to do. So schedule your call below so we can help you make that happen. So we can help you help yourself. That being said, let's talk about credit utilization. That's dealing with credit cards. Credit cards, you got unsecured credit cards, you got secured credit cards. Both play a different part, but we have a secure credit card that we highly recommend. But as it relates to building credit, you got to understand it takes time to build credit. So you want to be doing this thing over time. Over time, you want to prove that you can pay bills on time. Over time, you want to prove that you can keep credit utilization down because how they look at it is if you have a credit card and the limit is $1,000 and you spend $950 on it, they're looking at it like, this person needs this credit card. Let me go ahead and drop their score because they're maxing it out. They're not savvy as it relates to spending. They're not staying below a certain threshold. They don't have any self-control. So that's one of the ways that they're looking at it. But if you understand that you have $1,000 credit limit and you understand that you need to keep your credit limit under 10%, single digits is what I recommend, then now you're able to prove, okay, this person is doing things necessary to make sure that they don't go over this threshold and they're paying things on time. And when you add that up and stack, it's building your score drastically. So don't try to rush this thing, especially if you beat up your credit over. Sometimes I run into people, they've been beating up their credit for 3 years and they expect something to happen in 3 weeks. It's not how it works. It's not how it works. You've been beating up your credit, so it takes time. And if you're building credit, it takes time as well. But if you do a combination of these things, you'll be surprised how fast you can be in a good position. That's that. Credit history. As it relates to credit history and for the credit utilization, if you need a credit card, a secure credit card that we recommend, you can click the link below, or you can go to a site like bankrate.com and see what ones they have available. And I may do a video solely around that site to kind of just tell you some things that you could possibly look for. Let me know in the comments if that's something you'll be interested in. Furthermore, credit history. Credit history is the age of your credit. If you're just now starting to build credit, then you just got to wait it out. A good age for credit is typically 5 years plus, and it just varies, but you want to just wait it out if credit is new to you. However, there are certain shortcuts that can help you along the way. And I would recommend doing what I'm about to say with a close family member, a friend, parent, aunt, uncle, getting an authorized user or being added as an authorized user to someone else's account who is definitely responsible with their credit, because if you get added as an authorized user to someone's report, it can be very helpful because it gives you some credit history. It gives you some credit age because you're able to latch on to their good credit history of 10 years or 15 years. You're able to use that to your advantage. However, if they are not responsible with their credit and they're not paying things on time and they have a high credit utilization, it can be damaging to your credit. So you have to make sure this is somebody that you trust. And the thing about it is, if it's somebody you know and trust, they may not necessarily want you to be an authorized user on their account if they don't understand it. So say, for example, you got a parent that has a credit card and they're good with their spending. They keep the utilization down. They understand. They're responsible with their credit. They may think, now, I don't want to add you as an authorized user because, I don't trust that. But the power in it is they can add you as an authorized user, but never give you a card. So you're just benefiting off their good spending habits, and you never get a card, which means that they don't have to be worried about the idea of you running their card all the way up. So if they're concerned, that's a good thing. That means that's somebody who's probably responsible, and you never have to get a card. You're just being added as an authorized user, and it helps your credit history. And truth be told, it's one of those things that help in multiple areas. It's also helping your credit utilization if they're keeping their utilization down, as well as payment history as they make on-time payments. So it's power in that. Do not sleep on those things, but over time you will start seeing some results. I want people to start thinking in 90-day cycles. Of course, it happens in 30, 45-day cycles, but just start thinking longer term. So now you look up and, my score is up 100, 150. Just because you're building a solid foundation and you're doing things on a regular basis in order to ensure that you are doing it consistently, not just when you feel like it. And then credit won't even be an issue because you'll develop a habit, and that habit will be able to help you function even when you're not thinking about it. You just know to pay things on time. You just know to keep utilization down. History is inevitable. Credit mix is inevitable. Now, another thing I want to add as it relates to age of credit and then payment history is it's a link. When you click that link, smartcreditkit.com, it's a button that says build credit and save money like a boss, or something along those lines. Basically, if you set up a credit builder loan, that also positions you to save money so you can create your own savings account. And the fact that you're saving money is boosting your credit simultaneously. That's pretty powerful. That helps people build an emergency fund and things of that nature, because it's like they're being forced to save money because they don't want to be late on their payment because it's being calculated into their payment history. So if you're late on saving money, then it can ding your credit. So you're making sure you're paying and saving on time. But at the end of that fulfillment, so say you set up a credit builder loan of $3,000. The object is you got to pay a certain amount every month until that $3,000 is hit. Now, when that is hit, you got $3,000. That's yours because you saved it using a credit builder loan, and it all reflected on your credit. Powerful piece to the puzzle. So I got a link down below that can show you how to do that. And when you do that, it also allows you to roll over into getting your own credit card. So it's power in there. So if you click that link, you found your good one. There's a couple other good resources that I have down there, but do not do anything. You want to do something, because the longer you wait, the longer it takes. So if you're wondering how long is it going to take, how long have you been waiting? How long will you continue to wait? It's going to take a lot longer if you don't do anything versus if you just get into action and watch the magic happen. That's all I got. Mr. Smith, 0.5 of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. See you on the next video. Signing out.